Hello class, welcome to another lesson. Today's learning goal is I can use exponential notation and cross out and cancel common factors in the numerator and denominator of a fraction, understanding that the common factor represents multiplying by 1. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a little bit of review first. If we want to multiply these two fractions together, what we need to do is simply multiply the numerators, this 3 and this 3, together to get us 9. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And then we simply do this part down here. 4 times 3 is 12. So we get 9 over 12. Notice that this part right here, this 3 over 3, what this is actually 1, because this is 3/3. And 3 parts of 3 is 1 right here. So we're just multiplying by 1. So actually, this 3/4 right here is going to have the same value as our final answer of 9/12. Because by multiplying by 1, we get the same thing back. In fact, we can simplify this and get us our final answer back of 3/4, because they have a common factor. 9 and 12 have a common factor of 3, so 9 divided by 3, 12 divided by 3, we get 3/4. Okay. Notice how they both have a common factor of 3. 9/12 we can also write as 3/4. So let's take a look at this. We want to simplify 12/21. So when we simplify it, we're looking for a common factor. And we know that 12 and 21 both have a common factor of 3. And we know that because if we find the prime factorization of both of those numbers, the prime factorization of 12 is 3 times 2 times 2. And below, the prime factorization of 21 is 3 times 7. Now, we can always rewrite this as the following. 3 over 3 times the fraction 2 times 2, because those are the top factors right here. That's 2 and 2, and over 7. So essentially, I've moved this 3 and this 3 to another fraction over here. And we know we can do that because when we multiply, we just combine these two numerators and combine these two denominators. And again, we get this 3 over 3, which is the same thing as 1. So when we multiply by 1, we don't really care about that. So we just get rid of it. And what we're left with the numerator is 2 times 2, and that's 4 over 7. This process right here, where we get rid of these common factors, the factors that we have both at the top and the bottom because they end up being multiplying by 1, is called canceling. Okay. So let's try that out over here. So here we're asked to simplify and write in exponential notation this fraction right here. Okay. So we're going to take a look at that fraction, and we're going to take a look at the last two factors of both the top and the bottom, the numerator and the denominator. Okay. What we can do with these two is pull them out and to make it into a separate fraction. So we're going to go ahead and do that right here. So this is our original right up here, and this is our new one down here. It's the exact same thing. Okay, all we did was simply pull out the last factor of both the numerator and the denominator. And we get 2 over 2, which we know to be 1. So we replace that with 1. And we know that when we multiply anything by 1, we get that back. It doesn't change the value of it. So we can simply get rid of this one right here. We don't need it. And that leaves us with this right here. We got rid of one of the 2's at both the top and the bottom. And we can keep doing that. So we did this already. And we can continue to do that with this last 2's over here. We can get rid of these. And because they'll turn into 1, over 2, and then we can do that again with these 2 right here. We can get rid of these 2 because those turn into 1. And let me extend this page right here. And when we do that, we are simply left with 2 times 2. When we cancel out this 2 right here, we still have to have something in the denominator. We can't have it have any value, so we just put in 1. Now, the question asks us to write this in exponential notation. To write this in exponential notation, we put the number of 2's as the exponent. So we have our base is the 2 number, because this is a 2 and this is a 2. So our base is 2, and then since we have 2 of them being multiplied together, we write to the second power. Now we can put it over 1 if we really want to, but we don't have to, because anything divided by 1 is actually just that number. So we have 2 to the second power. Okay. Let's try it with this one right here. I'm going to do it the simpler way. Instead of pulling it out and showing you guys all that, I'm just going to do the canceling right here. Here we have 3 3's at the top. Oops, excuse me, 3 3's at the top, and I think we have 7 3's at the bottom. So what we can start doing is canceling them out. 1 up here, 1 right here, and then 1 right here, 1 right here, and cancel this one right here with this one right here. That leaves us with 4 3's at the bottom. So right here. Since we have 4 3's in the numerator and we don't have any 3's at the top, we just put a 1 at the top. And since we have 3 as our number, we use 3 and write in exponential notation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. So 3 to the 4th. Notice that it is not the same thing as 1 over 4 to the 3rd. That is completely different. Do not mistake that, because that is 1 over 4 times 4 times 4. We do not want that, though. That is not the correct answer. It is 1 over 4 to the 3rd. Okay? And that's all because this 3 and this 3 combined to be a 1, and when you multiply by 1, we don't really care about that. In this last example, we have both 3's as a factor and 7 as a factor. Now, in order to cancel out factors, we can only cancel them out if they are the same number, because if we were to try to pull out this 3 and this 7 and cancel them out here, we would be multiplying by 3/7. Now that does not get us back our original value. Okay? Because multiplying by 3/7 changes the value of something. Multiplying by 1 does not change the value of something. So we can't do that. We can only cancel out if they have the same value. The factors are the same value or the same number. So we can cancel out these 3's together. These 3's together. Oh, I accidentally used black. That's right. Let's change that. There we go. And then we can't cancel out this last 3 with the 7 because they're not the same value. This 3 and the 7 aren't the same value. But this 7 and this 7 have the same value. This 7 and this 7 are the same value, so we can cancel them out. And this 7 and this 7 can cancel out. And this 7 and this 7 can cancel out. So what we're left with are this 3 in the numerator right here and these 4 7's. Okay, so how we write that in exponential notation, because we're asked to do that again in exponential notation, is we put 3, and we could put a 1 right here. We could. We don't have to, because 3 by itself just means 3, 1, 3, so we don't really need to have that exponent right there, but we could if we really wanted to. Over, we have 4 7's, and 7 is our number, so 7 is our base, and we have 4 of them, so we make a small 4 right there. Okay. That is the end of the lesson, so hopefully you should be able to use exponential notation. You should be able to cross out and cancel common factors in the numerator and denominator and understand why we are able to do that in the context of multiplying by 1. How multiplying by 1 is actually the same thing as simplifying fractions and doing canceling of common factors. All right, go ahead and try the practice on your own.